formally call, I don't necessarily say, okay, Plato is defined as a rationalist. He certainly appears to fit in the camp. Whereas Aristotle certainly appears to fit in that empirical camp. But the big debate didn't come for some hundreds of years later. All right, the big empirical rational debate that we've already discussed. But we see the seeds of it early with Plato and Aristotle. We see this. They just have two very different ideas about reality, about metaphysical things. And for Aristotle, his idea was the forms are here, not in this realm of ideas. It's something here. Okay, the form of this desk is in the desk, would be Aristotle's thinking. Do you see the difference? Plato, it's the form of a desk is in this realm, this sort of mental realm or whatever, this realm of ideas. For Aristotle, no. He's a very practical guy. He's a very hands-on kind of guy. And perhaps, being a doctor's son, maybe there's some influence there. I don't know. That maybe some of why he thought the way he did. He believed that Aristotle believed in what Plato saw as a subjective reality. Forms are essences of things, and these are the most objective reality. Okay? He rejects the idea that we can know anything perfectly and objectively that we don't know by experience, and we cannot experience the essences. Okay, so here's a difference for Plato. Plato is you're trying to know the forms. Let's translate that into the term essence. All right? We're going to kind of use those interchangeably for a second. For Plato, I can know, that's how I'm going to know what justice really is by getting to know these forms. By getting to know this concept that is in a mental kind of reality of justice. That's how I'm going to really know justice. And then by knowing justice, then I'll be able to make that practical in society. Do you see how that works? You know justice, and by knowing justice, you can make justice happen here in the realm of physical stuff. All right, for Aristotle, no. It's justice is here. Okay, it's either here or it's not at all. It's got to be here. And you can't know. For Aristotle, you can't know the essence. You're once removed. You only know attributes. And we'll talk more about attributes later. I'm kind of just sowing some seeds right now about Plato and Aristotle, and this is all that's going to be on the exam. This is the only part of Plato and Aristotle that will be on the exam. Just that you cannot know the essence, according to Aristotle. Plato says, yes, you can. Aristotle says, no, you can't. And it's because partly the difference in the way they're looking at reality. For Aristotle, he's saying, I can know the attributes. And that is the physical properties of something. Okay? The properties. This is blue and white and red. It's flat. It's bright. Those are all attributes. Okay, but in essence, what is this? Well, this is a PowerPoint projection in essence. That's what it is. But all you can say is that you see blue and white and flat and bright. These are all attributes. Do you understand? Substance of something is... For example, what are you made out of? At what point would you no longer be you? If we could take all kinds of body parts off of you and, what's that? Heart? Okay, what we commonly, exactly, that's a common term that we use. What's your heart? Okay, that, at the very, very core of who you are, whatever that is. We only see what's going on the outside, right? We see whatever a person chooses to project. But at the very core of somebody, who they are, that would be what we would call their essence. In those kind of terms, the heart of the matter. Okay? And I asked the question I've asked before, do you ever really know a person's heart? Do you really ever know?
So would that make the argument after you've made the dinette set, it is still in essence a tree?
That's a good question. When you've modified something, may change one thing into another. No, it would cease to be a tree, not in a biological sense, because obviously it would be dead wood. But you made the wooden dinette set, out of one thing, but the idea transformed that into, you're making it into, to represent the idea of, because yeah, that's a good analogy. We're trying to know the form. Okay, the true form of a desk would look like this, but we're going to have to make it out of something. So we're going to take a tree, which is in essence what that is, a tree, and now we're going to change it so does its essence change? That's a good question. Good question. Write a paper on that one. You tell me. I'm not telling you. I'm not touching that one. But that's a good question.
You are the tree.
You are the tree. So yeah, this is a good question. Does the essence of, well, if the essence of that desk is it's no longer just metal and plastic, although in plastics, what, resin of oil, and it's a, so I mean,
it's a dinosaur.
It's a dinosaur, and metal is metal, and so you got, yeah. Good question, good question. So, the essence of it, is it a desk or is it a dinosaur? There you go. All right, that makes a good paper. Do you understand the difference, though, between Plato and Aristotle and how they thought about reality? If you can grasp those two, you're pretty far ahead of the game. Because it's kind of, Plato seems kind of strange to us, but when you ask those questions, and I think that one of the unfair things about Plato is when you say you can imagine a perfect straight line. The problem that I have with that analogy is that, yes, but you cannot put that imagined straight line under the same scrutiny as you can that physical straight line with a microscope. That mental straight line can't be looked at with a microscope. So there again, there's almost a faulty analogy there. But that's the concept of what he's getting at. Okay? That's the idea of what he's getting at. Any questions? All right. Be sure that you can answer and look at that excerpt on page that starts on page 9. And again, try to interpret it for yourself, wrestle with it, but read on in the book, because the book does tell you what the issue is. It's a very sleight of hand thing that happens in that argument. So be sure that you read on. I don't want to see you blow that one. I want you to understand it and do well with it.